I would say my music, even very broadly speaking, would be neo-classical, rhythm-driven fusion. The reason I am a tabla player is primarily my father, Pandit Bickram Ghosh, who is one of the greatest tabla maestros of this world. I hear that apparently my father would surround me with tablas when I was a kid and I had just started to crawl. And he would surround me with tablas and in the hope that I would crawl up to one of them, try to get out of that chakra view, which is like a circle which you're almost kind of trapped in. And I would go and strike one of the other tabla, which I apparently used to. His influence on me was so strong that I always wanted to be a tabla player in my heart. And yes, when it came to the crux and I had to take that call, it was the tabla that I chose as my profession. My band Rhythmscape happened in the year 2000, and that's when I came up with the album as well. It was an interesting phase in my life because I had been playing over a decade with Pandit Ravi Shankar. I was playing pure classical tabla up until this point, and then suddenly I had this calling which kind of made me feel that I needed to move into something else. And I almost completely shifted gear. And for a while I even stopped playing Indian classical music. And I went into this new music which I felt couldn't be described. And it was kind of inside me, just waiting to rear its head up. And I allowed that, and within a year or so, Rhythmscape happened. And the show became very successful, the album became very successful, so I was lucky because I was able to shuttle between that career and this without too much difficulty. So that was the music of Rhythmscape, as it turned out to be, was very me. Electroclassical is an album I did, and I do have a fair bit of electronic influence or electronic presence in my music, more so now than before. I mean, Rhythmscape, when I started out in 2000, had almost no electronic influence. Electroclassical was an album which in 2010 I created out of featuring instruments from India, which had all been transformed into electric avatars. So you have the sitar, and you have the electric sitar. You have a veena, you have an electric veena. You have a mandolin, you have an electric mandolin. So all of this has happened over the last few years, where traditional Indian acoustic instruments have been given electric makeovers. Fusion music emanating out of India has two predominant strains. One is fusion music, which is brought forth by primarily Indian classical musicians who are maestro musicians, who are either instrumentalists or singers or what have you, and who are essentially musicians, stage musicians. The other is a lot of young people are coming into this field who are either DJs or who are great producers, and they bring in music which sounds quite different. I would say there's more production there, there's more mixing there, there's taking diverse influences, throwing it into a melting pot kind of scenario. And on the other hand, with the music driven by musicians, I think is about a lot of live playing, a lot of virtuosity, kind of looking inwards while the musician is playing. So it's very performance driven, that style of music. CDs. One is with the produced music. That music can be heard in your car while you're driving. You can be playing it at a low volume when some friends are over. So in that scenario, it's almost something which is just kind of like a support system to your life in that moment. It's there, the music is there. And the other, which is the live music, which I really, really love doing, is something which demands every bit of attention that you can give it. Because the more the audience is attentive to the music, which when it's live, the more the artist is able to give back. And the more concentrated the audience is, the more they take back with them. So I think it's very important to have an audience which is looking for something different, yet within the realm of tradition, yet retaining character, identity, and at the same time improvising, at the same time creating something, a new sound, creating a new ambience. My music, what I create, I think is the essence of it, as I said before, is from Indian roots, and I bring my knowledge of rhythm into it. I bring my own personality into it, which makes it introspective or whatever it is. And I think people who are not just listening to elevator music should listen to this music, because it has intensity, it has a lot of thought, passion, and it has character. And if you don't trust me, listen to it. But I think that's the crux of it, because thinking individuals is my target group. People who feel, who think, and who do not think that music is just a background. Then let's switch it on and then have a party. Fine, you're welcome to do that. I have a few albums which cater to that as well. But most of my work, I think, demands concentrated listening.